Oh, you're so gonna break it. Good morning, gang. Yes, I have a look of concern on my face. Well, okay, I've been working on the old truck. Probably should have propped you up here on the dashboard or whatever. I'm gonna tell you a quick little story. So, yeah, it's coming time for the old Texas vehicle inspection report, and so put fresh tires on the truck, got the brakes done. Okay, so took it in. Oh, come on, focus. Took it in, and they said that it's got two fault codes. It's the ever-loved. Is it gonna do this? Okay. Today better be a good day, because I'm about to do something really stupid. So one of the codes was the ever-loved P0420, which is catalytic converter, or maybe the O2 sensors. The other one is the NOx sensor, circuit malfunction. Okay, circuit malfunction for the NOx sensor. This piece is buried in the middle of the frickin' engine. You have to take the intake off all the way down to the heads, and it could either be the sensor or just the wire. So researched that on the internet. The guy wanted to charge me $260 for the sensor, and then, out the door he wanted $605 to replace the thing. It takes 3.5 hours to do, so the book says. I found one on Rock Auto, which I encourage y'all, if you're replacing parts, go to Rock Auto. They're cheap, and they got all the parts. Anyway, no endorsements here. Found it for $125. Still, I don't know if I want to tackle that job quite yet, so yeah, I will probably let somebody else do that, but to the tune of $605. Now, back to the 0420s. Catalytic converters for this thing are $289 for the ones that are not OEM models, and $399 for the one that is. I say that plural because, well, there's two. So, we're looking at about $1,500 to get the old truck fixed up, and, well, I can't afford it. So, here's where it gets gritty, or maybe ungritty. Watch some videos on YouTube. Good stories always start like that, right? Okay, there's this guy, Scotty Kilmer. He's been doing the do for a while now, and rather than changing the catalytic converter, you can do one of two things. You can literally take it off and soak it overnight in soapy water, Dawn or equivalent, something like that. Or, here's where it gets good, and I am rolling the dice with this one. You put a gallon of lacquer thinner in your gas tank with your fuel. Did a bunch of research, probably about 4 hours worth, watching videos and looking at comments and stuff. Some people said it worked, some people said it didn't work, but nobody said it broke their car, except for the guy who put like 2 gallons in there. Okay, so researching what chemicals are in this lacquer thinner is about like what injector cleaner is. I wouldn't let it sit in the car for too long, so yeah, you're supposed to drive at 150 miles, or to have the engine rev to about 2,500 for a half hour. I don't like running my truck just, not moving with no load on it that much. I mean, that's just, I got fresh oil, brand new Castrol GTX, blah, 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 and a good filter, but I just don't like having no load on it going 2,500 RPMs. Then I also heard some stuff, a way to blow out your catalytic converter is just to keep it higher rev, not necessarily fast, but higher revved, meaning like maybe drive in second gear and see if you can get it to about 4,500 or so. Again, it's old truck, so I don't know if I want to do that, because a lot of times that's what happens. Grandpa drives his car, grandma, whatever, drives her car 45 mile an hour everywhere they go, and it gets driven twice a week, for 4 miles. Well, catalytic converter gets clogged up because it just doesn't get blown out. And so, yeah, it's good to get your car out on the freeway and stay with fast guy, you know, and so that helps get it all unplugged. So I am here at the gas station. I've topped up. Actually, I got a little more fuel than what I needed. I tried to watch the gauge as I was filling, but I got just a little over a half tank of gas. And so I'm about to go get the lacquer thinner. Weird thing is, I thought my check engine light went out. It went out. It went out literally. The bulb was burnt. So I thought things were good when I pulled it into the inspection station. I thought that there was no codes, but yeah, when you turn the key to the accessory position before you start it, all your lights should come on, even your check engine light, just to show that the bulb is good. Replacing the bulb is a whole different story, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this procedure with the lacquer thinner and driving it, and then I'll reset the code by myself by just undoing the battery cable for a minute or two, because that's all it takes, and it'll reset the computer, and then stop by and check it out at, like, you know, one of these auto places that throws the meter on there for you, and find out, is the code gone. If I can get at least one of the two codes gone, that would be awesome. I really hope I can get that cat cleaned out. Without boring you too long, because I'm already up to 6 minutes, and I'm going to be doing a little bit more of this throughout the day, is another way to test your cats is the temperature in front of the cats should be quite a bit lower than on the back side of the cats. I have two catalytic converters. I'm not going to try to say it. Anyway, I'm going to keep calling them cats, because I don't want to call them a catalytic converter, because they have nothing to do with Cadillacs. Well, I'm sure they have them too, but anyway. So I tested the front part of the system. They call it upstream, and it was like, don't quote me, it's like 400 degrees, or no, 300 and something, and it was like 450 on the back side, and that was just at an idle in the driveway. And then the back one, it was totally different, and so I think it's the back one that's messed up. The guy at the muffler shop said a lot of people replace the back one to pass inspection, and then they replace the front one later. Here we go. I'm going to try this. So I'm on the way to the big box store to pick up some lacquer thinner. God, I hope this doesn't break my truck. This is the only truck I got, and I've had it for, well, since it was new. It's a 2001, so you do the math, 17 years. Matter of fact, it's right at 17 years within the week, because it was right after 9/11 that I got the truck, because I thought if the world's going to end, I'm at least going to have a truck, you know, before the world goes to shit. And so I got this thing. Anyway, I will see you at the big box store or something. I'm going to have to buy a long funnel too. I don't have a funnel that's going to work here. Anyway, wish me luck, boys. God, what am I doing? Okie dokie. It was like $12 for the stuff, and had to pick up a funnel too. Anyways, I'm finding that our speed limit here on this particular freeway at this spot is 65. I'm running about 71 maybe on cruise control. Then it brings me just over 3,000 RPM. So I'm just going to leave the overdrive off. That way it'll keep the RPMs up like that. And I'm going to head out 75 miles or until I feel uncomfortable, and I'll turn around and come back or whatever. I might go back and forth. I just don't want to get too far from the house, just in case things don't work out. So that's what we're doing. I'll let you know later. Wish me luck. Alright, gang, so far so good. I've been gone for a while. I just headed north and kept heading north. I turned around at about 86 miles. I'm at 102 now. Seems like the idling has stayed about the same. Seems like I got a bit more power. Not sure exactly. I'm thinking it's the K&N filter on there because it allows so much more air. Listen to it. See, still kind of stumbling a little bit on the heavy takeoff. I don't need to get a speeding ticket around here though. Anyway, so yeah, I've been driving it like I stole it. I found out that 80 mile an hour with the overdrive off is about 3,500 RPM, so that ought to blow it on out. We'll see how it goes. catch up with you later. This road is rough up here. Alright, catch up with you later. Alright, gang. Went through the tank of gas. I think it was like 130 miles. Alright, let's check these temperatures. I pulled up the gas station a while ago, so we'll see. Got at 413. Let's check the max. 432. Kind of scan it up here by the. We got 427. So we're looking for a higher number here. Yeah, we're getting a higher number. That's good. So 505. So here on the back cat, wag it around a little bit. So 418. And 424. Oh, that's kind of wagging around to get a good measurement. So I'm still thinking that back cat is not working properly. It's just not hot enough. 427. Go back over here. Well, it's really not much. I was expecting more like 100 degrees difference. So, anyway, see if I can spin you around. Alright, gang, I didn't make it all the way back to town. I mean, I haven't. Anyway, I stopped here at a local AutoZone, whatever, it doesn't make a difference there. And I checked the codes, and I don't have a 0420 code anymore. Still got the knock sensor thing. So, yay, and yay. So I'm not going to abuse it anymore with being in overdrive off. I am going to put this stuff here in there. It looks backward to me, but it's probably right to you, guaranteed to pass, and double your money back if it doesn't. Still got that knock sensor, so I'm going to have to deal with that, but I'm going to go ahead and follow the instructions on this. Matter of fact, I'm probably about to jump back out of the vehicle and go ahead and install this stuff. And I got the little light bulbs for the check engine light, so again, I'll be taking apart the instrument cluster this afternoon. Alright, yay, nothing's blown up. So, I am going to check the oil line here too, just in case, because I did see a little bit of oil leaking. I got it probably, now the temperature on the dash didn't show that it was getting hot, but I got that exhaust pretty darn hot a while ago, so maybe that has something to do with a little oil seepage. We'll see how it goes. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and install this stuff, check the oil, and I will catch up with y'all later. Alright, boy, that was one heck of a day the other day. Obviously, this is a different day. So, what happened is I ended up getting back to the house, replacing the check engine light bulb, and I took the battery terminal cable off and reset the computer. Drove it 120 miles, and then took it to get inspected again. Actually, I took it and asked the guy at a different inspection place. Asked him, could he overlook the light being out, the high beams being out, because still having issues with that. But after resetting the thing, pulling the cable off, it cleared the codes, and after 60 miles, it should be showing codes again if there were any. And so when I was out the day after, I went ahead and picked up one of those code meter reader things, and I'll spin the camera around here in a second and I'll show you. But yeah, I mean, all the codes so far have been nullified, if that's even a word, and so that's excellent. Save $1,500 there. As for the headlights thing, I learned on the internet, wonderful internet, how to test the relays, and I think I found all of them that worked the headlights, and they all seem to be working. I did replace one because it wasn't clicking like it should, because it kind of makes a clicking noise. So $50 later for a stupid little cube looking thing, I replaced that and it still didn't help. So I ordered one on the internet from Rock Auto, and I've got a not a relay, but the actual switch itself, because it's the turn signal and lights and all that crap together in one thing. So went ahead and ordered one of those, and it should be in tomorrow. This is Tuesday, and so it should be in Wednesday. So hopefully I can plug that in and it'll work. So yeah, I ended up escaping a bunch of bills this time. So let me spin the camera around, because I don't think I can do it just like on the fly like that there, and I'll show you the little meter I got, the little meter reader thing. Okay, I think it's recording. Yeah, it's this little guy right here, and it was like $44, so it's pretty cheap. It doesn't have all the features that some of them do. That's probably why it was so cheap. And of course, it's got this little plug here, and that just plugs into your car. So I'm gonna do so, and put the key in the on position. Plug that in. Put the key in the on position. Turn off the AC. Whoa, and radio. Shush, shush, shush. Okay. Oh, it's flickering. That's wild. Anyway, you know, electronics don't record electronics well. So hopefully you can kind of see it. I'm having a hard time seeing it in here. Okay, it's doing the link thing. And it says, is this my vehicle? And I tell it yes. Oh no. Oh no. The 420 code is back. Oh, this is not a good day. Wow, this thing's tripping out. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. I thought I was cured of this. I'll go ahead and start this thing. Alright. But why then is the check engine light not on if it's showing that code? Oh, it says it's pending. I'm not even sure what that means. Okay, that makes no sense to me. I can clear the code with that machine, with that reader thing. See, the check engine light does work. Okay, yeah, I will try to clear the code, and then I guess I'm gonna have to drive it 60 miles to see if it stays cleared. I'll be darned. Okay, hey, wow. Having some troubles there before, but hey, I got it all sorted out for a lot cheaper than expected. The part that came in, the switch thing, your turn signal switch, that wasn't it either. So that's going to end up going back to where it came from, because I don't need to spend another $44 on something, well, that I don't need. But I got the inspection taken care of, boys. Come to find out, the electrical thing was something that you ain't going to find so easy on the internet. If you got an old truck like this and you have troubles with your high beams, this particular one, it has the daytime running lights, and there's another little relay that is not with your other fuses and not under your hood with the fuses and relays and stuff. It's actually well, about where they plug it in to do the testing for codes. It's right above that, and it was a simple thing to install, and it was a pain to find though. I went to a junkyard. Actually, I called a junkyard. They said, oh yeah, we've got one. And I get there, and the driver's side door was all bashed in. It was already stacked on another car, so it was kind of spooky to begin with. And of course, the windshield was all busted out, and it had been raining today, and they weren't going to take the part off. I wasn't going to pay them to take the part off. So I just went ahead and left that place. It was a place I used to go to. Anyway, I made this video way too long. The place was in shambles. I went to a different place. They said, oh yeah, I think we've got one. Actually, it's for a Sequoia, but I think it'll work. It didn't work, but he sent me to another place, and long story shorter, short story longer, $15. But I've had to run back and forth to get it all found. And the last place, that truck was pretty rugged too. It had been flipped, and so it wasn't a lot of room. Probably should have carried my phone to get us some pictures. But anyways, I am fresh for another year. And all is well. Didn't have any problems with the knock sensor thing after resetting it. And the catalytic converters got cleaned out. I don't know where to hold you here. It got cleaned out, and so those are good. Yeah, all is well. Thanks so much for dealing with such a long video. Hopefully it hasn't bored you just simply to death. Yeah, it was kind of spooky, and I thought it was going to cost a lot of money, but I'll tally up the votes, and I'll put it in the comments below or something, or in the description below as to what it ended up costing all in all. Yikes. Well, she's good for another year. And I got my daytime running lights back, and I've got high beam, so I'm going to be able to see at night. Alright guys, thanks again for coming by. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. May the force be with you and all that good stuff. Cheers from the drunken. I'm about to, buddy. I hadn't even had a drop today, but I'm about to. Celebrate. See y'all next time. Adios. Cheers from the drunken one.